Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality, and today I am starting a 1980s themed series of journals, and I'm starting off with Care Bears, obviously. I've pulled together some things that I've found so far. This is part of vintage Care Bears gift bag, and it's just a portion of it. It was a bigger sized bag, probably about that big. I cut sections off of it to use in a couple different journals. I also have this really cute fabric. This was from Joann's, so adorable. And then I was given two of these little Care Bear little figurines, and so I made it into a charm. And then I made this lobster it's using a lobster clasp, but it is a charm for the book, and that is what I'm going to be working on today. I'll show you how I made these really pretty UV resin charms, and then I'll put the whole thing together for you. So just wanted to give you a sneak peek. And so we'll go ahead and get started on making the UV charms. So to start off, I wanted to just go through the things that you will need to make these UV resin charms. You will need some sort of mold. I have this one. It is from Craspire.com. I will put the link down below for their website, as well as a coupon code and a link to this mold. And the ones I'm going to be using are the heart and the star right here. It is a mold that makes a little frame. It has the hole set in already, so that you can put a ring on it. And so what you do is you make the frame first, and then you turn, well, it makes the frame, and then you can put that resin frame onto some tape. So you will need resin tape, and I'll put the links for everything down below. This is the only item from Craspire. The rest of these items you can pick up at Joann's or Michael's or even on Amazon. So I'll leave links if you are interested in any of this. And then of course you need your UV resin. This is from Amazon. And then you'll need a couple different items to mix into your charm. So I have some blue glitter and I have some pink. It's like a kind of a chunky glitter, but more like sequins, but they're super flat. So it's like a little flakes, I guess you would say. And then I also have one of these UV lights, and mine was in a kit that came with the resin, the light, and some other items. It was an affordable kit, like a starter beginner UV resin. And then bonus is that if you have gel nail polish, you can use that for painting your nails, which I've done that too. And then I also have a heat gun to help with some of the bubbles in after you put the resin in the mold, because you don't want bubbles in your piece. So okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to take this off, and what I'm going to do is just go ahead and put resin in this little area here. I do have some toothpicks to just kind of spread the resin evenly here. You do not want to get this on your hands. It's not as toxic. It's not smelly at all. I mean, there's hardly any smell, so it's not like the two-part resin. But this, you definitely do not want to get the liquid part of it before it's solid onto your fingers. So if you have gloves or little finger things, you can use that, or just be careful not to touch it. It's not going to burn, but it's just not good for you. So I'm just going to slowly pour this into the little frame. And then I'm going to use the toothpick and kind of push it in, move it around a little bit so it gets an even distribution. Need a little bit more in there. If you don't get it moved around and evenly distributed around there, it will just solidify that way when you put it in the under the light. So then you'll have holes in your project. So there's just this kind of a practice thing if you haven't done this. I have not done this for very long. Just got started doing it a few months ago. So I'm still in the learning phase of doing UV resin, but I really find that it's fun. And stuff turns out really cool. Let's see, I think it still needs a little bit more here. Let me know down in the comments if you have made any kind of UV resin items, charms or beads or anything like that. I don't make any jewelry, just like the charm dangles to put on my journals, but that is something that you can use this for, to make jewelry. Okay, so I think I've gotten it evenly distributed in that one. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my, well, you know what, I'm going to focus on one at a time. I think that will be easiest, but you could fill everything up and stick it under there. So now I'm just going to take my heat gun and blast a little bit on here just to make sure. Doesn't look like there's any. Well, it would help if I would plug it in. That's important. Okay, let's. Yeah, I don't see any bubbles. Do that again. That kind of just brings the bubbles up to the surface and pops them. So now, let's pull this over here. Oops. Just want to pull in my nail lamp here. So I'm going to pull this off the top. It just comes right off. And I'm going to put this right inside there. And what I like to do, and I've watched videos on how to do this, but this has a 99-second, well, it has 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and 99 seconds. I like to do 30 seconds of holding the lamp up above about 12 inches and slowly moving it down in. So I can't remember the science of that, but that's how I guess it gives it more even baking or whatever. Not sure what the technical term is for that, but so yeah, so I'm going to do 30 seconds with it like this, and then I'll slowly move it down as I go. After the 30 seconds, I'll kind of go halfway, and then I'll put it down for the last 30 seconds. So now I'll go a little bit further down, hold it up still. And I guess if you use the 2-part resin, that is the resin that you have to let sit for like 24 to 48 hours before it gets hard. So this, I think, is amazing to do quick projects with resin. So now I'm going to let it sit for 30 all the way down. So I wanted to show you the charm dangle a little bit more here while we're waiting on this. So I had these really cute Carebear figurines. The one I'm going to be making today is using the rainbow bear, and I don't remember the name. I think this is Sunshine. I don't know her technical name or her actual name, but yeah, this one's really cute. What I'm going to be doing is drilling a little hole and then adding an eyelet, like little twist ring to make it a charm like this one. And then I made the star charm and the heart charm with the resin. And then I had some beads in my stash, and I just went ahead and made little charm dangles with those beads and added it onto a chain and a lobster clasp, and it just made a really cute charm there. Alrighty, let's check on this. So you want to pull it out and wait for it to cool off. So it's still a little warm, but it's not hot at all. But you want to let that cool off, and we'll pull it out. In the meantime, you'll want to cut a piece of the resin tape off. You gotta get it like any roll of tape. You need to find the end here. So you just need it big enough to stick your charm on. And I actually used my last piece of this several times when I was practicing making these charms. So this will last for a few times before it gets kind of yucky. So you want to cut that piece off, and then we'll pull this out. I think it's cool enough. Nope, it's still a little bit warm, so I don't want to bend it. It's kind of bendable. So it's coming out. There, I got it. All right. So that's what it looks like before we add anything into it. I think it turned out pretty good. There might be a little bubble there. It's got a little rough edges. I do have some little nail file, and they sell these at Joann's specifically marketed for resin crafts, but I'm sure that you could just use like this looks like a nail file to me, that you could buy one of those. It's glass, or yeah, I think it's glass. So I'm just kind of smoothing the edges off a little bit, and it's better to do it right away after you get it out of the nail light, because it's still a little bit soft. It hasn't completely gone super hard, and that's the time where it files the easiest. All right, I can see a little bubble right there, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, so now we'll want to take and put this down on the sticky side of our tape. Put that down on the table. If you want to use some like washi tape, you can, but to hold that down. But I think that's okay. Okay, now we're going to fill with the resin down in the center there. You don't want to fill it all the way to the top yet, but just kind of evenly put a layer down, and we're going to add our glitter flakes in. kind of move it around, make sure it's even in there. And then now we'll just add a little bit of the flakes, just enough to make it a little sparkly. All right. Now we'll just take this over and put it under our light. Just place it under there. And do the same with the 30 seconds up, middle, and then down. Put an extra 60 seconds in there just because it has that flake inside of it, so it has more to actually bake through. So I like to just do it a little bit extra long to make it nice and hard, and so that all stays in. And as soon as that's done, I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll go into making the star here, and I'll just go ahead and do that, finish up the charm, and then we'll go ahead and put together the little charm dangle. So I'm using this Carebear here and then these 2 bead charms that I made already. I'll go ahead and show you. I have this hand drill, and I'll put a link for it down below, but I have a small blade. This is like the second blade in. They are these, it's a Hildy and Joe from Joann's Resin Craft, and it has lots of different sizes of blades, or not blades, but drill bits, and I use the second smallest one. They make these, they've just marketed this for Resin Craft, but they actually sell these other places for other things. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to put a hole right in the top of this Carebear, and you just basically turn it, and then it puts a starter hole, and then I have these little they're tiny little ring with a threaded end. I don't know what they're called, but I'm going to just twist that into the top, and that will make him a little charm, or her a charm. You just have to get it started. A little push into that hole there. So I was able to finally get that caught in there so it would go. I just think I didn't make my hole big enough to start out, but now it's tight and I just have to screw it down in a little bit more. I think I can go one more time around here. All right, so now that's a little charm. Okay, so we'll pull out our heart here. Take it off the tape. Here's how it turned out. That looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make the star, and I'll be back and we'll put together the final charm dangle. Alright, so I attached all of my charms to the chain, and now I'm just going to clip it off at the very last one. Because I want the Carebear to be the last charm on there. So I'm going to go one underneath and just clip that off. There we go. Alright, so we have this really cute little charm dangle that will hang on the side of the journals. I'm also making tassels to go along with these books as well. So if you'd like to see any future videos on my process of making the Carebear journals, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Creative Crafticality, because I show sneak peeks over there as well. And yeah, hopefully this gives you inspiration to make some cute little UV resin charms. If you haven't tried that yet, be sure to check out all the links down below. And I will have the Craspire link as well as all the other products that I used. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Leave me a comment and subscribe. And I'll see you again next time. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality. Bye. God bless.